Welcome to Bible in the Park. Here we are in New York City on a chilly morning on Riverside Drive. Chapter 13 in the book of Leviticus describes the role of the priest in diagnosing a skin disease such as called tzara'at. And it's a disease that afflicted human skin, but also property, fabric, leather, mud hut can contract this disease. And the afflicted person was quarantined until they can become pure. And in fact, if there was no cure for the particular disease, they were banished from the camp, sometimes even perhaps for life. In your novel, In the Ruined House, Andrew Cohn, the protagonist, becomes afflicted with a number of diseases of mind and of body, one of which is this rash and skin disease. Yeah. And I wonder, in what way does tzara'at kind of animate that work, and how is it relevant in modern conceptions of diseases?
Tzara'at it's translated as leprosy. Tzara'at is the ultimate terror. It's fear incarnate. Tzara'at is actually not a disease that we know today. And it is the rabbis who interpreted the Bible were adamant that it is not a natural disease. One more thing that's very important to know about tzara'at is that people who studied the Bible in a more traditional context, in their mind they say, oh, we know tzara'at is a punishment for lashon hara, for malicious gossip. That is not true. That is not true. That's a much later interpretation from the rabbinic mind that cannot stand the arbitrariness. And the arbitrariness of tzara'at is the essence of its horror. The horror is that it can happen like this to anyone and everything. And it is unexplainable, it is unpredictable, and it can go from Miriam, the prophetess, to the most lowly member of the tribe, and it could also happen to objects. And that's amazing. Because if it was a skin disease, okay, it's a skin disease. But when a house catches tzara'at, when a garments were very expensive. Garments is not something you buy at H&M and throw that the next day. A garment becomes leprous. A piece of leather becomes leprous. It's horrific.
And that is why, that perhaps explains the elaborate procedure and purification process is commensurate with how horrific it was.
And the procedure of purifying from tzara'at is one of the most beautiful and poetic descriptions ever in world literature, with the two birds, the live bird and the dead bird, and the live bird who's allowed, again, totally on an arbitrary, random way. One dies and one is stained with the blood of the dead bird, and it's sent to freedom, and it never understands why it's alive. And this is a great metaphor to the human condition. And tzara'at is the essence and the condensation of all of our fears, of everything that we cannot control in reality.
Normally we don't think of the words leprosy and poetry and in the same unit,
but
when
you
talk about it being a poetic procedure. It's
darkly so, but yes.